thing that really struck me about Goldman's new investing platform through Marcus is that it's through ETFs. You're not necessarily letting people pick and choose their own stocks. Why was that the decision as you were building something new?
Right. So maybe as you were just talking about the democratization of finance, which is something that we're really focused on, maybe I'll give you a little bit of perspective on the overall consumer strategy at Goldman Sachs. We want to be the leading digital banking platform. And we're doing that really through two different strategies. The one that you've been talking about, which is our Marcus direct-to-consumer strategy. And we've had lending, we've had savings, we've had an insights platform, which helps people manage their money. And now we have Invest. And the idea behind this is that we can be someone's holistic bank. Later this year, we plan to launch checking, and we really think that's the final step. It won't be the end of our product roadmap, but we really think by adding both Invest and adding checking, we can be someone's primary bank. The second strategy, just so you understand it, is that we're going to take those capabilities and we're going to embed them in the ecosystems of our partners. That's things that we're doing with Apple. We've also announced a partnership with GM. And so we think Invest is this wonderful complement to this idea of being someone's primary bank, and it takes the best of Goldman Sachs in terms of investing advice and embeds that right into the Marcus app.
But I want to get back to that initial question about why ETFs, why broader market rather than individual stocks. A lot of what we've seen around the democratization of the stock market through Robinhood, for example, is the retail investors picking and choosing. Is there a concern around that at all, or is it just a more scalable strategy to do it this way? How do you think about it?
I would think about it as this is where we're starting right now. As our research and our data shows that the best path to maintaining and growing wealth over time is to invest in diversified portfolios. We use those same diversified portfolios across our wealth management business, and we're using them inside of Marcus. And so you can view this as the first step in Goldman Sachs getting into investing for the consumer.
So that's hinting more changes ahead for you. Again, 7 weeks on the job. What are the changes you're making? What can we see next coming out of this platform?
Yeah, so a couple of things. You know, this is a very exciting day for us to launch Marcus Invest, but it's also an exciting day because we had a new partner join Goldman Sachs, Swatia. She joined us from Stripe, and before that, PayPal and Cap One. And I raise it because these are some of the changes that we're implementing, which is having really this two-pronged strategy of having the direct-to-consumer markets business, which Swatia will run, and then having the large partnership or financial cloud business, which Dave Stark will run. So I think you can view that as one of the major changes that we've implemented as we've gotten to a point where we have a more fulsome platform. I talked about the fact that we have lending, and then we have savings, and we have insights, and now we have Invest, and we'll soon have checking. That whole capability allows us to be someone's primary bank. And as you mentioned, we're going to keep looking at other things on the roadmap. You know, the way that we think about it, before we launched Marcus, we talked to thousands of customers. Actually, we talked to 10,000 customers, and they told us what they wanted, and they wanted help managing their financial lives on their phone. And that's what we're helping them provide. And we've started with the products that we have, and we'll continue to invest in more.
Stephanie, another question I have for you is, you know, this is all coming at an interesting week. We were seeing a hearing on Thursday that involves Robinhood, some major names in the hedge fund industry. We're getting news today that gamification is something that regulators will be looking at. It's something they're worried about. How are you worried about this as far as investing more broadly for a younger generation? What do you think the regulators should be looking at?
Yeah, I'm going to leave that to the regulators, but what I'm going to tell you that we're focused on is we're focused on helping people better manage their financial lives, and there's a bunch of ways to do that. You know, I'm going to give you an example from the Apple Card just because I think it's a really good example. So the way that the Apple Card works is that when you get your bill, there's a payment wheel, and you get it on your phone, and it's set actually at paying your full bill. And the idea is a nudge around paying your full bill, and it tells you the consequences if you don't pay your full bill and how much that's going to cost you in interest. In addition, it allows you to pay your bill multiple times per month. And so we think that there are a bunch of smart innovations that you can put inside of your products that help people better manage their financial lives. So that's how we're going to think about it.
So I can see you thinking about all the new products that are ahead of you right now too. You had mentioned checking. That is something that I know a lot of people have been keeping an eye on. How soon can we see a product?
You know, it's funny. Checking is so funny because it's funny that we're even calling it checking, right? It's a digital product and we're calling it checking. Interestingly, all that customer research that we did told us that if we didn't call it checking, no one would know what we were talking about. And so the idea is to really help people have a transactional account where they can get their direct deposits and they can manage their payments and do that in a smart way. And our plan is to have that out later this year. So hopefully people will be able to join it in 2021.
And Leslie, people have been talking a lot about Bitcoin. A lot of people want to own it. How is Goldman thinking about this when it comes to their more retail products?
I think we're going to look at this the same way we look at everything, which is we're going to listen to our customers. And by the way, we listen to our customers directly by talking to them. We listen to what they're saying in our call centers. We listen to what they're saying on social media. And so we'll listen to what they have to say and we'll decide our product roadmap from there.